Alright, so Xenovader. Xenovader is a new archetype that, it was revealed earlier today, so let's take a look. I'm already reading online that a lot of people aren't too hyped about this particular archetype because it seems far too balanced. A little bit weaker compared to the other archetypes we got revealed a couple of weeks ago. I think there is one archetype left for this particular pack. But I'm getting some which archetype can we compare this? Let me think. Maybe Goblin maybe. The archetype is focused on banishing stuff, banished face down. It has some cool gimmicks. It can dodge some hand traps. But for now it kind of feels indeed a bit too balanced, but I'm not so sure if we can expect more cards, probably in the future. But nonetheless, it has some nifty plays. So what's the gimmick? The gimmick is that you want to banish your stuff face down. One of the powerful cards or best cards in the deck is the field spell. Upon activation, it lets you banish 5 from the top of your deck, for example, or even your graveyard. So again, getting your monsters banished from the graveyard definitely helps. They have 8 level 8s, at least 8 level regular monsters, and upon summon, either normal or special summon, you can banish the top cards of your deck, depending on the level. So, level 1 banishes 1, level 3 banishes 3, you get the point. The focus, I guess, is this one. So the level 8, that's basically your boss, and it will gain beneficial effects depending on how many cards you have banished face down. Preferably, you want to have at least 40 cards banished. That sounds a lot, but for this deck, it's not that difficult. You could definitely run more than 40 cards. Again, you have many ways to banish stuff face down. Desires, the Gimmick, the in-archetype stuff, so it's not that hard. And when you have 40 cards, at least 40 cards banished face down, both players will skip their draw phase. And, that might sound strange. It's very similar to Yatagarasu, right? Not giving your opponent the draw phase, but that counts for you. And that can be important because you can kind of deck out yourself relatively easy, so leave you with 0 cards in your main deck. But again, this level 8 prevents you from drawing, so you're not technically losing because you can't draw any cards. So you see that it's relatively easy. So the level 8 also has one of the effects, you can banish a card once per turn. Again, balanced, right, compared to some of the stuff we have nowadays. Some of the other effects. You could go for like a synchro approach, but the big, well, not downside, but the catch, I guess, is that some of these monsters have like the restriction that as soon as you use them, you cannot use other effects in the same turn. So no Imber, no Droll, after you use those effects. The level 6, this one is a quick effect, basically a monster reborn for banished pile monsters. The Goblin, I'm calling it a Goblin because it looks like a Goblin. Again, upon summon, banish 1 face down, and it basically is Stratos, for 2. So get 2 monsters from your banished pile to your hand. The level 3, special summons from your banished pile, so that's a nice extender. The level 6 on the field is not that threatening, but it does protect your board a little bit. Except itself, so your opponent cannot target any other monster, right, or, Xeno monster, unless it's the level 6. That can be important for one of the power cards. That's not the level 8, and that's the level 5. You'll see in a few moments. The level 5, it's very similar to the Gimmick Synchro, but as you know, the Gimmick Synchro needs to banish the appropriate attribute from the grave, while the level 5 has to take your appropriate attribute from your banished pile and send it back to the deck to negate a certain monster effect. So it's very similar to the Gimmick Synchro. The level 4, technically, you'll see in a few moments, technically lets you play during their turn, turn 0, for example, quote unquote. So let's see, we have the level, we only have 1 interruption left, so it's somewhat balanced, not too many communications, disruptions. It relies on the level 5 a lot for now by, again, not once per turn negating monster effects, and this one, the level 8, to pop stuff. There is also the level 7, the archetype also has like a destiny draw, or maybe a Dark Lord, Dark Lord destiny draw. Banish and then draw 2 basically, which is a quick effect so you can use it during their turn. So again, those nifty beneficial effects, but it still feels that they're missing stuff. They also got the trap card, by the way, which I don't think it's that good yet, might be in the future. The field spell again, very similar to Cosmo, I guess. So getting one of your banished monsters back to the hand. Again, very similar to Cosmo, has been a while. The level 2 gets your spells and traps back from the banished pile. And again, I'm only running one, which is the field. The Cryptor, I don't get why. Because again, we can pop, right? I mean, the cards are new, so fair enough. Hair is... okay, I tried to negate hair. Again, I might have missed something. Again, feel free to enlighten me. At least to enlighten. We can pop the... yeah, one of the Malice cards. Basically prevent them from playing, right? Or ranking up. Once per turn pops, again balanced, but here it was enough. Use the field spell a second time, banishing the top 5, or one of the cards in the graveyard as well, again banishing those monsters, fueling your banished pile basically. So there's other options. You have the Gimmick. The Gimmick definitely has a place in this. What is it, banishing 7 cards? Can be done turn 0, quote unquote. But yeah, level 3 banish. Banished 3, you know, you get the point. Levels, special summon something from your banished pile. This should be more than enough to attack for you. Last one going second, and as you saw, what is it? I don't think I can run 40 cards. I think that I can main deck more. Over 40, 50, can you maybe make 60 cards? So there is space for non-engine, and I'm running one of the newer ones as well. Is it the Thief, the Gallant Thief? It's quite popular in the OCG as well. Because you have a lot of monsters that can special summon themselves, so the normal summon is not that important. Anyway, so let's see. Level 4 we can special... okay, so you see that this deck can play quote-unquote turn 0, right? Even though it's not that threatening, because the level 8 cannot pop a card, because again we don't have banished 20 cards, I think. What is it? Only a handful, I think. So now it's just a sitting duck, but again, we can establish our board, Harmonia, pop something, sets up our graveyard, and so on. Keep in mind, again, I think we have the Pegasus in the graveyard, but again, I wasn't able to use the effect because we already used the level 4 earlier in the turn. Desire is a sick in a deck. It's basically a pot of greed, obviously, but it banishes 10 cards. You know, I don't need to explain that this card is super sick in this deck. So we can pop the field, could be important. We force Imperm, which is nifty, I guess, so that's one less communication on their part. And here I think the Ignister is going to get activated in the graveyard. Super nifty, taking something away with it. Yeah, we lose level 8 Ignister, bouncing back remix. They search something which I don't get why. I might have missed it, but again, enlighten me. So normal summon level 3, special summon from banished pile. Ghost Ogre, again, for the level 5. Level 5, as you know, that's your quote-unquote boss number 2, your omni-negation stuff. By looking at the attributes and send them back from the banished pile back to the deck. You know, it needs to be the same attribute, so again, very similar to this one, the Xenovader one. So it's a nifty combination, but again, keep in mind, some of your effects do block non-Xeno monsters, right? We try to... sadly it doesn't destroy, so that's a small bummer. Could have been, you know, it could have been better, like negate and destroy, right? The deck seems a bit balanced, so why not? We extend, go for the level 8. I'm not so sure how many cards we have banished. You know, banishing up to 40 cards, again, sounds a lot, but it's not that hard. RS, that's a problem, because again, our board is not protected. The level 8 does have built-in protection, but only by battle. So again, kinda iffy, right? Destiny draw. Use the field, banish 5, right? And here's, I guess, where the Xenovader definitely comes into play. That's finally hitting those darks in the graveyard, you know, banishing the attributes, because we need them in our banished pile. Getting back the Goblin, normal summon it, banish 1, right? Get back 2, and basically our game. So, okay, the archetype, okay, it feels balanced compared to the other, well, the other 2, right? At least one of the other archetypes has already been revealed. We are, I think, expecting one more archetype for this, you know, for this pack, but it's balanced. But you know, we can definitely expect more support in the future, and it does have some nifty plays. It can dodge a lot of hand traps. Smaller world is sick, as you saw. Same for Desire, so there is potential, right? So again, feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Big signing out. Peace.